for the elimination final here at Laylaw Reserve, and it is Fleming going up in the ruck here up against Michael Gillard. No one getting a key tap. The clearance almost coming there from Henwood, but he was unable to do so. We'll have a stoppage immediately. So rucks will go at it again. It is Fleming that got the tap. It was the Blues that were able to get first clearance as they get one towards half forward, but a good intercept mark coming from Robertson immediately. He'll be key today, no doubt. That kick, not a great one, and tough one for Murphy, but he did get boot to ball eventually, and is able to be marked by a teammate in the middle. Now, there's something going on in the middle. It was McCaffrey was having a bit of words to say to Henwood, and Brent McCaffrey's now going to win the footy in the middle of the ground. So already a bit of talk now. Of course, McCaffrey, a star player for this Old Eltham Collegian side. He's got the ball in the middle of Laylaw Reserve. With the right boot, he sends it towards half forward. That might favour his teammate there in McDonough. Didn't quite get to him, though. A lot of numbers around for the Blues here. Chance there for Middleton. Got the handball away, but that ball not going anywhere. Umpire says, I'll have it. So we're at half forward broadcast side here at Laylaw Reserve.
Looks like Henwood is following McCaffrey around wherever he goes at this stage.
No ruck getting the tap. It was Keys doing it there for Old Eltham. In there is Milne as well at the bottom of the pack. You're right, though. It looks like Henwood's getting the job there so far. This time it's Gillard who is able to help Epping get away from defensive 50. That kick in the middle of the ground, always a dangerous one. Trying to get on top of it there was Latina. One back by the Turtles here. Johnston got it to Fleming. Now it's a chance here for Russian McCoach, who goes to the pocket, but it's all Epping, and intercepting the mark is Dallas Taylor. It's been fantastic in defence for Epping since coming back to the club, spending last year, of course, at Northcote Park, as did a few of these players today. He's at the pavilion side. That kick, not a great one. Fleming in the hole, got a hand onto it with the ball hitting the deck. Now the Blues have to make their way out of here by hand. A good handball over to Taylor, who goes now towards half forward, but that's cut off again, and the Turtles can reset, and a short ball to Fleming works. McCaffrey running back to provide support, but Fleming's actually going to go forward with this kick, and a good option to Alice, who's almost true centre wing pavilion side. Alice has got a handball receive closer to the boundary, but the ball goes inboard anyway to Russian McCoach, the standing captain, of course, today. He just assesses his options. Call to play on is Russian McCoach. He goes inside again. Not a great kick. At the back, still a chance. It's Epping trying to clear it away. They do so here through O'Kearney. That's a very high ball. It's a wide ball. It does stay in the field of play. And it is going to be a boundary throw-in on the pavilion side. 55 out from the Old Eltham goal.
And the Turtles are doing most of the attacking early stages, but when their kick goes inside forward 50, it's not really much to the advantage. They haven't really threatened at this stage.
Gillard getting the tap. That ball not going anywhere by the looks of it. Eventually it's extracted. McCaffrey lost the footy. Here's LaRossi front and centre, almost held without the footy. Clearing kick is smothered by the Blues. Bit of volleyball. LaRossi, handball backwards works. Now the Blues are away. They're going to go through the middle of the ground as well. Getting a hand onto it was Johnson. Doing well was Latina. Great pickup as well. He's able to move things for the Blues. They go inside 50. They've got players running forward. Alfonsi gets there. And a really great mark for Adrian Alfonsi, who will look to go back from pretty much directly in front, 35 out, and get the first goal of the elimination final.
It's really good counter-attacking football there from Epping. Latino just did so well, created that chance, just picking up the ball off the deck so cleanly. And Alfonsi, who was able to take a really strong contested mark. He's kicked the 35 goals from the 13 matches this season, and it'll be one to look out for this afternoon.
His first year at Epping, his first final at the club. Alfonsi comes in, he's missed to the left-hand side. And the first score of the day goes to the Blues. They are one behind. Old Eltham yet to score 4 minutes into the opening term.
Yeah, it was a bad miss, but that was the best inside 50 we've seen all day from either side. Open forward line, penetrating kick, and really the only person who could possibly get his hands on it was Alfonsi.
Well, Moroney's kick's an interesting one, but it gets to Russian McCoach. We'll see his long kick in action potentially here. He's going to switch this one towards the pavilion side, and he finds Alice right in front of the Old Eltham Collegians bench. Alice still in defensive 50. May look to switch it here. Short kick back to Russian McCoach. And they're just chipping this ball around for now. This is Nicholas Milne. He'll go inboard to Burns, who also had an option there in Gavalucci, but it's Burns that takes the mark. He'll go to centre wing pavilion side and gets to Fleming. And then he'll go inboard to Johnson. So just building up some things nicely here, the Turtles. They're still in the defensive half, but in control of possession at the moment. Now, that's the dangerous kick, but it works out okay for Alice, who goes inside 50 now. McCaffrey's a target, did push his opponent out the way. Epping with all the numbers. Taylor, just a chipping ball, works outside defensive 50. Mark taken by Middleton. Middleton will look to use the handball receive. It does get to it eventually. Still a chance here for Epping, and they'll move it down the line and then to centre half forward. Latina had to get there. It was all Turtles otherwise. The Turtles win the ball. McCaffrey dead centre of the ground. Handball over now to Moroney. Moroney's going to go towards the pocket. Chance here for Malone. Had 2 to beat. Ball does hit ground level. It's Malone against Conway. They might be happy to see the boundary here. Conway keeps that ball in play. Got the handball away to Gleeson. And Gleeson extends defensive 50 for a tough ball, but Waldron almost juggled that completely. Slams into the fence. Bit slow to get up, but we'll have a boundary throw.
Yeah, and Conway was the guy who held Sam Rexepi to a single goal last week, so that's a big feather in his cap.
Boundary throwing goes over the head of both ruckmans. Gillard getting the secondary tap when the ball hit the deck, but we'll have another stoppage anyway. So 6 minutes in, it's 1 behind to no score in favour of the Blues. It's Fleming getting the tap. Blues trying to clear it away. Almost dispose of that incorrectly. Umpire happy to let it go. It's flipping. That just gets a grubby ball inside. Overrunning it on that occasion was McDonough. He's milled. It is cleared again by the Blues towards the broadcast side, but it'll be marked by Murphy. Now he's got McCaffrey as a handball option, and that's who he's going to use. McCaffrey almost right on the boundary. Almost fends off his opponent in Sirianni. Umpire says, I'll throw it in. Great tackle from
a great tackle, and the Blues fans thought he was a bit stiff not to be rewarded for that tackle, but good pressure by the Epping players.
Ball gets tossed back in. Both ruckmen just getting a hand onto it. It's going to be cleared away here by Liam Waldron. He goes towards half forward. Getting in the way there was Josh Borden, but it's streaming through the middle there was Cooper Scott. Got the handball away now to Alfonsi, who have another shot on goal. It's dribbling, it's through. And the Blues get the first of the elimination final. It's Adrian Alfonsi. They move to 1-1-7, the Blues. Old Eltham yet to score. 7.25 minutes gone first term.
The Blues have really looked the better team so far at the opening stages of this match. Just being able to transition the ball. They've had that's the second time now in this first quarter where they've been able to transition the ball so smoothly throughout the ground. And Alfonsi's been on the end of both shots, and really, really impressive start for the Blues.
That's right. Well, good signs for if this continues for the Blues, because Alfonsi's kicked the entire score of the game. And the Blues have looked by far the better going inside 50, even though they haven't gone in as much.
Here's McCaffrey in the middle, and with the non-preferred, he gets it to centre half forward, but that's cut off again by Taylor. He's going to look towards the broadcast side. That kick getting away from Hollow, but has enough time to pick up and go down the line. A good mark taken here by Waldron. He's centre wing broadcast side, right boot ball to half forward. Turtles here with the numbers, bounces just in front of Hugh Kavanagh, and he's happy to see that out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, and the field kicking, we haven't got stats here, of course, but the field kicking of Epping, I think, has been superior to that of Old Eltham Collegians early on.
Boundary throw-in here. It's going to be Alfonsi doing the ruck work again. The boundary throwing goes over the head of both rucks. He's Judd getting through, hands it off to LaRossi. It's all Turtles in the goal square, though, and Alice takes the relieving mark. Opts to handball this one, and the Turtles, well, probably not a great option for Kavanagh. Has no choice but to just get it out of there, but it almost worked out on that occasion for Ben Cox. He couldn't grab it completely. Now the numbers arrive for both teams, and we'll have a ball up.
Now we've got two of the greatest intercept markers in the league here. In Tim Ellis, he's a regular high stat getter in that regard, and also for Epping is Dallas Taylor, who's already taken a couple today.
The Blues get the clearing ball. It's a high one. No one able to get the mark. McCaffrey at the back of the pack just boots the ball and slams a huge torpedo. That's gone the centre wing broadcast side. Now it's a foot race. Waldron should get there first, and he does well to get away from Murphy. Waldron now takes a bounce, and he goes to the pocket with a beautiful kick. No, just got over the head on that occasion of Wilkins. And Alice again with another intercept mark. Well, Alice will get it. I think that's Hallett wearing the long sleeves. Maybe a number change, not too sure. Otherwise, it is a late change. He's at half back.
It's not Hallett.
He'll go down the line. Almost a mark taken there on that occasion by Borden. It's going to go back anyway to Dallas Taylor. We'll have to investigate and see who that is.
Possibly it's Daniel Cartasano.
I think you might be right, actually. He does usually
no, there's Cartasano with number 4 there. We'll have to check on that.
So Aquilina, meanwhile, is in the middle of the ground with the right boot. He's going to go towards the pocket. A lot of numbers here, and a good defensive mark taken by the Turtles. They'll switch it to McCaffer, and he's deep in the defensive pocket. Chipping ball works for Murphy. So they'll try again to sort of build their way through at the moment. Called to play on is Murphy. Goes through the middle. It's a great kick. And now the Turtles, defensive side of centre square, can get things moving. He goes towards half forward, 2-on-1 in favour of the Turtles, but Gleeson did well to get hands onto it. Now Cleary, the late inclusion, has to try and get his hands in, and he's unsuccessful.
I think Old Eltham have just been a bit hesitant coming outside their defensive 50 thus far. Epping have done a really good job just being able to lock them in.
Ball gets tossed up, and looks like the boundary line will beat Vindanopoulos, and we'll go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 11 minutes into this elimination final. It's Epping 1-1-7. Old Eltham Collegians are yet to score. All scores for the Blues courtesy of Adrian Alfonsi. Tap again coming here from Borden, who's doing some ruck work. Umpire says, I'll have it. We're between wing and half forward for the Turtles, who haven't had a shot on goal just yet. Cleary in the ruck work, grabbing it and just getting boot to ball, bouncing towards half forward, going in hard were a couple of Turtles. One of those was McDonough. One back here by the Blues, and they're just able to extract well out of defensive 50. It's a ground ball picked up here by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes to half forward. McCaffer from the back takes the mark. He's got it ahead of Henwood, and now McCaffer drives the ball towards the top of the goal square. The option there was Keys. It's going to be cleared away by O'Kearney now, who's running away. Opts to handball to Gleeson, but he didn't get much control of it. Now Malone faked the kick, faked the direction, and then just chips a nice ball to his fellow forward. And the Turtles can go back here and have a shot on goal from about 35 metres out.
It was great composure there from Malone. Could have easily just bombed the ball to the top of the goal square, but he had the poise just to look around him and find an option. And that's why Old Eltham will line up for their first shot of this match.
So the shot comes in from Ben Cox, and there is the first one for Old Eltham Collegians. Ben Cox gets on the board, and the Turtles move to 1 straight 6, Epping a 1-1-7, 12.5 gone first term.
I feel like that was a bit of reward for effort from Old Eltham. You've got to say they've had the majority of the possession, but really with their forward 50 entries, they've been a bit sloppy. So if you're a Turtles fan, that's just going to be reassuring to see, able to take their chance there.
It's a 1 point ball game here as we tick towards the 13-minute mark of this first term. You're right, Tim. They've definitely had the possession, but the Blues a bit more clinical to start things. Old Eltham now on the board. If you're watching this, you can see Henwood really trying to put a lot of attention on McCaffer. Again, no rucks hitting the tap out there. The Turtles will try to get their way out by hand, but it's a bouncing ball clearance from Epping, although not too efficient. Ricochets now to Milne. Milne got it off to teammate in Gavalucci. Bouncing ball works out here for the Turtles. They'll swing around. Right boot ball, top of the goal square. Here's Malone. He's got about 3 to beat. Almost went out the back. There's a holding, push in the back. Call it what you want. It's going to Old Eltham Collegians. And Kieran Malone looks like will be the receiver, and he'll look to make it 2 in a minute for the Turtles. And Kieran Malone, who's been a noted goal kicker since coming back to the club, of course a former Best and Fairest winner a few years ago. Malone makes no mistake from directly in front, and just like that, Old Eltham Collegians hit the front. They're 2 straight 12, Epping a 1-1-7, 14 minutes gone.
Yeah, and we've got a similar thing happening up both ends. Alfonsi's got the entire number of goals for Epping, and Kieran Malone's been involved in both for the Turtles. One is a passed off to a guy who kicked a goal, and then he got the free point blank range and kicked a goal as well.
Fantastic stuff there. We know how capable Kieran Malone is in front of goals. So we'll see how that all plays out throughout this contest. So ball back in the middle now. The margin here is 5 points, 14.5 gone. Turtles starting to settle into the game now with this early lead. Tap on that occasion coming from Gillard, and we'll go again.
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, Henwood and McCaffer, because if Henwood's trying to lay that tag, there's a bit of a difference in terms of physical presence. McCaffer, the bigger player.
So clearance here from Epping, bouncing ball LaRossi. Well, he was the man in front, but the bounce didn't favour him. Instead, Moroney, who hasn't got clean use of it either. LaRossi now wins the footy back. He's at the bottom of that tackle. We'll call for a ball up. No,
he's been pinged for holding the ball, and he actually lost his feet. Otherwise, he probably would have been able to get a handball out.
So the Turtles will win it here. So Murphy's at centre half back. Chipping ball here for Burns. So you can hear the wind just picking up a little bit towards the right of your radio dial. That ball's okay now, and it's into the hands of Ben Gill, who's made a senior spot his own since coming into the team. He's got a good kick over there to Murphy now. He's 60 out from goal, broadcast side. Centres the kick, and a fantastic mark taken by, well, number 42 for Old Eltham, because I'm not sure who it is.
I've been trying to get on my phone and get the team list, but I just can't quite get him up at the moment. And he does look familiar.
He does. He's certainly someone that has played. It looks like Daniel Hallett's not in this team.
Actually, he does look like Warren. I think it may be Warren. Sam Warren. Yeah, he normally wears 54, but he has worn 51.
Well, in the meantime, you have a shot from about 30 out from goal. He comes in. That was no problems at all. And the Turtles have kicked 3 in a matter of a few minutes. And suddenly they've ballooned this lead out to 11 points. 3 straight 18, Epping a 1-1-7. 16 and a half minutes gone. And all of a sudden now, Doug, the Turtles have really been able to take a stranglehold on this game.
And this is what they've done in just about every elimination or first semi they've played. Is
it Ben Rowe? Not sure, but yeah, keep going, Doug.
Yeah. What happened? They've got to an early lead and they've been able to hang on. So we were a bit surprised that it was 7-0 Epping early on, but this is a typical Old Eltham Collegians elimination final effort. Let's see if they can keep going, though.
We're in the middle again. Tapping it is Gillard on that occasion. Trying to go in hard with Sirianni. Ran into his own teammate almost, but it will be the Blues that clear it away. Wilkins now goes towards half forward with the kick. It works for LaRossi. This time he gets the bounce he wants. Centers the footy. Chance here for Latina. Just couldn't pick it up cleanly on the bounce. Still has time to gather. Still got the footy in the hand, Latina. Centres this ball. He's about 40 out from goal. Epping do have the numbers. They have to get away from attacking 50 for now. Middleton will chip it in. Umpire says not 15 with the kick back towards Sirianni. Sirianni again still now on the knees. Got the handball away. The Turtles arrive with great pressure. He just felt like if Epping were a little bit more cleaner with that ball, Tim, they had a good chance on goal.
Certainly right, but Latina is looking like a real threat when he gets on the ball. He can pick it up cleanly. He's dangerous. It's
going to be cleared, however, here by the Turtles through Cox with this clearance after the stoppage. Bouncing ball might work for Burns. He's trying to paddle it forward. Epping with the numbers. Gleeson, who almost kept that in play, was unable to do so.
Latina does look dangerous. He's also got a good step. He can sort of sidestep and get himself, change direction quickly, get himself into open space.
So boundary throwing, true centre wing, pavilion side. Good crowd here at Laylaw Reserve. Tap from Fleming at the back, straight to McCaffar. He was able to juggle it and then clear it away for the Turtles. It's very wide for Keys. Out of bounds, will have a boundary throw-in.
And the Turtles have been winning the inside 50s, but early on they were very haphazard. They were just bombing it in. They've been a bit more effective going inside 50 in the last, say, 5 minutes or so, and it's resulted in 3 goals.
55 out from the Turtles' goal. They've kicked the last 3. Fleming getting the tap. Doing well to get his way out of trouble as Middleton. Did get the handball away again, not to a teammate, though, in space. And again, the numbers arrive for both sides to cause another stoppage.
Yeah, now Middleton's the sort of guy who gets 30 possessions a game and you don't even see him hardly. But the coaches love him. He's the inside mid, one of the key inside mids for the Blues. So watch for him performing that role today.
Gillard straight to McCaffar, lost the footy. In there is Cox trying to spin his way out of trouble, but he's caught instead in a big tackle. Umpire says, I'll have it again, though. So 19 and a half minutes gone in this elimination final in Heidelberg Golf Club Division 3. And Old Eltham lead it by 11 points. That ball again not going anywhere. Now it trickles over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in. So just a stagnant part of the game here as it stands, but we're between wing and half forward for Old Eltham Collegians. Ball gets tossed back into play. Gillard was front spot, but not efficient enough, and now it is Cleared away here by Epping. Wilkins had a couple to beat in the air. Ball hits ground level. Turtles surrounding all players at the moment. This is Russian McCoach. That's a booming ball towards half forward, but it's going to be cut off by Taylor. Again, he's taken a few intercept marks. Has Taylor. He's going to switch this ball along to Waldron. And then he goes inboard. Dangerous kick. Just got to Jordan Hollow, who's a true centre-half back. He's going to go to Dallas Taylor, who's broadcast side between wing and half back. Taylor for Epping goes down the line, and he's able to get this one to Waldron. So they're just kicking it around at the moment. Waldron's going to swing around on the right boot. And I think that would have been a bump from Russian McCoach. There was a bump just after Waldron had kicked it. And it's going to allow for a downfield free kick that will work in the hands of Epping. And the Blues will have an opportunity on goal from directly in front, just on the paint of 50.
I think Liam Waldron has been one of the best for the Blues thus far in this match. I've really liked his explosiveness with the ball. And he's been really brave in a number of contests there. And you saw he just was willing to take the hit.
Yeah, and very costly for the Turtles because it was going to be a clear intercept, or was a clear intercept mark otherwise.
So, opportunity now here for Jordan Wilkins, who's directly in front, 50 metres out from goal, and it's just missed to the left-hand side. 1-2-8 Epping. Old Eltham Collegians a 3 straight 18. We can confirm it is Ben Rowe, who is number 42 for Old Eltham Collegians. Played yesterday in the reserves, but got the exemption to play after a late change. It is Daniel Hallett out of this side. Meanwhile, Kavanagh's going to chip it short to Robertson. Robertson will go down the line. That ball too high in the air for Johnston. Now coming through like a steam train is Dallas Taylor. That kick, I don't know if it was meant for a forward. It almost got to LaRossi and Latina. Cut off instead by McCaffer. He's going to switch it out to the pavilion side to Cox. And then he had no choice after being under pressure to just boom it towards centre wing pavilion side. He is picked up now by Cartasano. He's going to go back to Milne, who goes one way then the other. And then that's a big ball towards half forward. That's not won by anyone particularly. Instead, the Turtles get it at ground level. And Lee Judd came in hard. But the umpire said it was a high tackle rather than a holding the ball free kick. So Noel McDonough's going to win the footy 55 out from the Turtles' goal.
Yeah, and right in front of the Blues faithful there who weren't too happy with the decision.
He's going to chip it short to Ben Gill now, who's got the better angle, but pretty much the same distance he'd be kicking from. Now, long kick here, Ben Gill.
He's a chance, I'd say. I'm just seeing if he's going to go for it or he wants to chip it in.
So he's going to kick from the corner of the centre square. That's not going to get the distance. It gets pretty close. Malone almost, but it's punched through for the first minor score.
Just watching him kick that, he could have run in about another 3 or 4 metres, I thought, which could have put him right on range, but nonetheless.
So the Epping Footy Club clear it away. They get it all the way to Lee Judd, who's almost true centre-half back. Judd, staple of this Epping team. Their skipper, of course. He's going to go to our Fonzie, who's very far from home. Defensive side of the wing, broadcast side. That's a beautiful ball in the middle, though, to find Wilkins. Wilkins is going to play on. He runs past Gill with ease, and Wilkins sends that one inside 50. Almost an opportunity there for the Blues. They aren't able to pick it up cleanly. It was James Tadd on that situation. That was the man in front. The Turtles under pressure. They're going to get it out by hand, but it's all Blues outside there attacking 50. Chance here now for Henwood. Henwood kicks it towards the pocket. Bouncing ball did not work for Latina. Picked up by Moroni, who's tackled immediately by Daniel Racklin.
Now, we're told these days not to tackle to cause head injuries. That was a beautiful, gentle tackle by the Epping forward.
Deep forward pocket here for Epping. The only one going up is Fleming, though, in the ruck. That ball eventually handled its way out. Bouncing now towards the boundary line. Moroni doesn't concede, instead works it out well to Murphy, who's on the broadcast side. Although that kick's not a great one. It's going to make some work here for Milne. Waldron got the tap over to Judd. Now a chance here for Hoare. He goes inside 50 now, top of the goal square. Fonzie underneath, couldn't get the mark. Round level chance for Tadd. Tadd lines up for goal and he misses again to the left-hand side. 1-3-9 now the Blues. Old Eltham 3-1-19. So same scoring shots, Tim, but Epping missing their chances.
Yeah, and as much as Epping would rue that chance there, I think Epping have looked really good going through the centre of the ground. That's where they're playing their best footy, and they're looking really eager to do that. So Old Eltham have to find a way to sort of stop that at the moment.
So 24 and a half minutes gone. McCaffer clears it from the defensive pocket. And the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, we've got an 18 to 9 game, but it feels like it's sort of 50-50 actually in general play.
So 3-1 plays 1-3. Boundary throw-in incoming. Tap there again from Borden. That may have been a throw, but umpire happy to let it go. McCaffrey again, he's been everywhere. He goes towards half forward. Taylor trying to pick up the crumbs. It's Burns that's actually going to paddle this one forward. Now it's a tough one for him. Conway there giving the pressure, and then Burns will just let that ball go out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throwing inside 50 for Old Eltham.
Yeah,
Collegians.
Burns was a player who was in the twos for a lot of last year and this year, but he's basically just worked his way in through good form and really cemented his place in the senior team now.
17th senior game this year for Tom Burns. Only played one match last year and 11 reserves games in 2023. As the ball gets tossed back in, it's socket out of defensive 50 by the Blues. Almost picked up that by one hand there by Murphy. Did he get a kick away there? Umpire says yes. And we'll have another ball up. So 26 minutes now gone in this opening term.
And it looks like LaRossi's limping a little bit.
He's a little bit sore. He's going to limp his way to the bench. In the meanwhile, that ball is spilled out. Chance for Finn and Hoare. And there is the quarter-time siren here at Lalor Reserve. Just the 4 goals kicked in the term. 3 of them coming from Old Eltham Collegians, which sees them lead by 10 points at the opening break. It's 3-1-19 Old Eltham. Epping a 1-3-9. Your goal kick is